And of course, we are taking an opportunity now with the publisher, which he's promised now to do what the distributor didn't do last time, get in the airports, get it in all the stores. And we've got to get this information out. And just so you know, Killing Uncle Sam is being redone as a paperback and will be coming out with an extra chapter, a whole new chapter, just because we wanted to do that because the publisher said, well, let's get the paperback of that, which will be a nice paperback. And while they're filling in that, Doc, I'll come to you and just tell the people what the final chapter, because it's very interesting. This final chapter, that's going to be added in the King Uncle Sam, and it's a trade paperback.
Yeah.
So just tell them a little bit about that.
It's hard for me to talk here because every time I sit down, I get drunk.
But you're a professor. That should not be happening to you.
It shouldn't. It should not be happening to me. No. The final chapter is how the new chapter of. I better get out here.
Why, is it dangerous over there?
No, wherever you want me, Pastor. The epilogue, the new epilogue to Killing Uncle Sam, is going to be about the National Council of Churches and the World Council of Churches and how they are promoting a one-world religion. How you have a phenomenon now called Chrislam, the unification of Christianity and Islam, how that's being promoted, how this new world religion is being forced down everyone's throat, once again through the World Council of Churches, through the ecumenical movement, through the National Council of Churches. Back in the 1950s, there was a congressional hearing, and they said the most communistic, the most evil, this is a congressional hearing, the most nefarious organization in the United States is the National Council of Churches. That's a congressional investigation. Don't look for communists or people who want to overthrow the government anywhere other than there. And once again, these organizations were set afoot by...
Yeah, and of course you've got Soros. Soros is now funding many religious organizations. They're receiving up to 8 figures from him, which is pretty horrendous when you think about it. And if I mentioned publicly the organizations, you'd be shocked. Mainline, mainstream, even into some of the charismatic Pentecostal movements receiving funding from Soros to push Open Society Foundation, by the Open Society Foundation, to push open borders and to make sure that evangelicals across the board will vote Democrat, because they do not want Trump to get a second term, because he's wrecking everything. He's wrecking the agenda of the globalists, and they don't want it. They do not want it. And these are so-called Christians. These are so-called Christians. And this has been pushed by the theological seminaries, and some of the stuff that they're pushing is what's called critical race theory. And if you even want to believe what I'm saying, you have to, because I'm telling you the truth. But you can just go to YouTube, pull up Fuller Seminary, and type in, "Can a white man be saved?" And you'll see a whole series of lectures, "Can a white man be saved?" And of course, the thing is that the white man can be saved, that he needs to apologize for his whiteness. And so they're pushing this to cause racism and racial division, as though you could go to your mother and blame her because your skin is white. I have no control over that. I actually went to get my DNA just to find out what I actually was, because I actually don't think I'm white, but I'm more like, it's not white. I mean, I've seen white. So, you know, there's English people, they're really white, but I'm not kind of like leaning towards olive, you know. And my Kirsten, my daughter, you must see her, you know, when she burns in the sun, she goes almost, you know. So when I checked my DNA, I'm 2.5% East African. Who knew? It's like Ghana and all those countries. I'm like East African, 2.5%. And I'm 1% Indian, I tell you what, at all. I'm 1% Indian. How? But you can't stop where your ancestors went. So some of you sitting here, you think you're one thing. You don't even know what you are. You have no clue what you are. Go to YouTube and pull up DNA test results and watch the people. I'm a Mexican. They're not. They're Italian and German. I tell you, I'm Mexican. Yeah, you thought you were. But your ancestors came from another place. And of course, when we traveled through the countries, Octavia, we were in 32 countries in Europe. Every country I was in, Octavia said, I think I'm from this group of people. Seriously. And then when we hit 6 countries of the Caribbean, I said, Octavia? She said, Pastor, I think I'm from here as well. So Octavia's really messed up. Isn't that right, Pastor Ray? She's messed up badly. She was even Ukrainian? Yeah. So my wife is 1% Mongolian. Who knew? I'm going to Mongolia to say, hey. Anyway, so, I know everybody thinks they're one thing and they're not. You have no control of your ancestry.
I'm Pashtun.
Huh?
I'm Pashtun.
What is that?
It's like a tribe from near Pakistan. I did a DNA test, so I'm from there, and I have also African roots.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. The whole world flows together, We actually come from 2 people. We actually come from 2 people. I even know their names. Adam and Eve. My great grandfather was Adam. And my grandmother was Eve. Somebody said, well, how come there's all these countries? The Tower of Babel, God went like this. And people that were talking the same suddenly, They got confused. Then they heard and understood over this, so then they all went with the people that were talking their language, and everybody divided that way, and then God set the boundaries up. God set the borders up. That's why they want to break the borders down, because they want to build another Babel. Saudi Arabia is building one of the great cities that will be built for the future. It could even be biblical prophecy. It's a $500 billion city called Neum. Google it. It's going to be state-of-the-art, 21st century, everything electronic, everything. The land's already there, the road's already there. It's right at the top of the Red Sea. Everybody say Neum. Yeah. $500 billion will be spent on the building of Neum, which probably will become, it could become the mysterious Babylon, I don't know, but it will end up probably being part of Bible prophecy. Everything is being set up. Google it. Google it right now so you can see. Google Neum. Huh?
N-E-O-M.
Neom. You found it? What's it say?
It's a future project for Saudi Arabia.
It was not just project.
Well, it says it's a planned cross-border city in Tabuk province of northwestern Saudi Arabia. It is planned to incorporate smart city technologies and also function as a tourist destination. The site is near the Red Sea. and borders that Saudi Arabia shares with Egypt and Jordan.
Yeah, but 500 billion, I don't think you even conceptualize what that is and what's going to go into that city. I think they said it was going to be, 7 times bigger than Manhattan. So if that happens, that's going to be the mega city of the world. Modern day Rome. All roads lead there, So a lot of things happening. But that gives me joy because we've got some time left to reach the harvest. I'm only interested in reaching the harvest, bringing the harvest of souls, and occupying till he comes.